All right, we're recording.
Okay.
So what are we doing right now?
Oh, we're just driving around. The city's got a lot of issues, man. There's a lot of clutter that needs to be cleaned up. So we're just making the rounds and going through each area and seeing what we need to do to help. My father used to talk about how clean this town was, and how you could swim in the lakes, play in the parks, just live a normal life. He loved this town. It's such a shame. People don't realize they're losing the only place that they could ever call home. So the only question is, what other choice do I have other than to dedicate every day to cleaning up this forgotten town?
The state's Department of Environmental Conservation are predicting high levels of pollution.
Concerns about everything from fertilizer to toxic chemicals tainting waterways.
The worst smog pollution in the country.
Rats are taking to the streets like never before.
Cheddarbluff, Wisconsin. A small town, a hard-working town. A city that once embodied the beauty of Middle America has become one of the dirtiest cities in the country. Being directly south of Exxon's transportation factory and a Coca Cola production plant, Cheddarbluff is downwind from a major air polluting company and downstream from a terrible waste dumping facility. The town also rests at the base of Badger Valley, so when remnants of waste come in, they don't come out. I am Martin Weiss, and I'm going to figure out what exactly is going on here.
So one of the first stops each day is going to our Casey's and cleaning up the parking lot. There's always some trash left over from the night before. This town doesn't have a lot of food options. People love the Casey's here in Cheddarbluff.
Yeah, lucky today, Gil. Not too much trash.
Yeah, we got a pretty easy shift today. Yeah, there wasn't too much trash kicking around today, pretty easy one. I think it's something to do with the power outage or something last night, but yeah, someone's coming in. Someone's coming in. Look alive.
Here's the goose!
Yeah, I like to pick up a lot of stuff on the highway just because it gets so terrible out here. Oh, hold on, look at this, look at this. This is what I'm talking about over here. This is what I'm talking about. You can find most of this stuff on the highway. People just throw out like half bag of M&Ms. Perfectly good stuff.
What are you writing there?
Oh, I just keep note of everything I find each day. It's a hobby of mine.
What'd you find yesterday?
Oh, let's see. 60 soup cans, 41 takeout containers, 72 soda bottles, 4 pregnancy tests, 2 positive, 2 negative. You got 4 Dale Earnhardt t-shirts, a couple Hustler mags, and a pair of truck nuts.
Do you know Gilbert Waynes?
Gil? Yeah, I know Gil.
And how do you feel about him?
He's a nice enough kid. I personally don't have a problem with him. I know some people around town think he's a little strange, but we all know his heart's in the right place picking up trash around town.
So why do people throw drinks at him?
You mean Juice the Goose? That's something we do here. You can't say you're a member of the Cheddarbluff community without juicing the goose.
Have you thrown something at him?
Oh yeah.
Hey, Matt.
Hey buddy.
So right now we're downstream from one of the biggest factories in the city. They put out tons of pollution that comes down here and enters the watershed. Usually every day or so I'll come through and just pick it out and make sure we're all good.
So what are you doing now?
Well, I'm past the point of finding all the floaties, so I'm feeling around for little debris you don't want in your cup. I found something.
So, you really do this every day?
Oh, 3-4 times a week. It's just necessary, you gotta do it. If you don't, the waterways just get polluted.
Where'd you get that ding dong?
Back in the river, totally unopened.
Isn't that kind of gross?
Nah, that's not gross, dude. Zero waste mentality out here.
been this environmentally conscious?
Oh no, I kind of got into it in high school, you know, my life path just led me towards environmentalism.
What happened to make you make the shift?
Oh, just a personal event in my life, you know, with the family. I don't want to get too much into it. Oh, hold on, there's a bike coming. Come a little bit.
Get juiced.
So you went to high school with Gilbert Waynes?
Yeah, we were in the same grade. I've pretty much known him my whole life.
So what was he like in high school?
He was more on the quiet side, you know. You didn't see him at parties or football games, but he was always around walking his dog.
Interesting. So you know about the game Juice the Goose?
Yeah, I know about Juice the Goose. It's a thing that started around sophomore year.
And do you know how the game started?
No, I can't really remember anymore, but I know it had something to do with the town hall meeting. And I know right about around the time it happened, he became a lot more reserved and got really close with our teacher, Mr. Porterhouse.
So I just want to thank you again for inviting me over to talk about Gil.
Sure, no problem. I really care about that kid. I just want what's best for him.
So I heard you and him became very close during his sophomore year. Is that correct?
Yeah. If I remember right, he was going through a dark period. He had a death in his family of some sort. He was really having trouble grasping his feelings and get in touch with those feelings. I just wanted him to take that pain and turn it into something more positive. I recommended he get in touch with the environmental conservation efforts going on around town.
So do you know anything about the game Juice the Goose?
Yeah, I do. I feel partly responsible for that. That night I recommended he goes to city council to bring up the issues.
I want to thank you again for letting me come to your home and sit down and talk to you for a little bit.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Do you want to talk about the council meeting or?
If you don't mind, would you tell me a little bit about what happened that night?
Okay, well, it all started after a death in the family.
Yeah, I heard he took the loss pretty hard. Was it his father?
Oh, geez, no. No, Jerry was just out of town on business. No, I think it was Gil's sophomore year, and his dog tragically passed away. It was his dog.
I'm sorry to hear that. How did he pass?
Well, it happened pretty quickly. Gil came home, took him out for a walk, and as best we know, his dog was walking along, and then there's litter out there, so we think he ate something and choked on it. I mean, it was just literally down the street.
I'm really sorry to hear that. It sounds like they were best friends.
Oh yeah, they were inseparable. So I think this is it's what drove him to the council meeting in the first place.
So what exactly happened during the council meeting that night?
All right, so after he talked to Mr. Porterhouse, he came up and spoke, gave a speech about, he wanted to address the litter and the pollution in the city. And then next thing you know, somebody in the audience picked something up, and it was like a bottle of something. I think it was orange juice, and just chucked it at him. And then that person or people just stormed out.
So is that where the term Juice the Goose came from?
Unfortunately, yes. I mean, I guess the town thought it was really funny, and then it's kind of become a thing, and now the town bonds over it.
Wow. That's terrible. But I think I got a pretty good understanding of that situation. Before we wrap up, is there anything else you want to say? Tell me about Gil. Anything you'd like to share?
Yeah, I mean, and to expand on that other part, I think what happened is the best thing that's happened to this town, because they kind of bonded over it, like I mentioned before. But I mean, as far as Gil goes, I mean, he's artistic, loves nature, he's a great kid, love him to death, and I just want him to just know and believe that he should never change as a person and himself, and that he just continues to be who he is.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
You know, I came here about a week ago to see what was, well, frankly, what the hell was going on in Cheddarbluff. After a couple of days of failing to find people who were trying to clean up the city, I met a man by the name of Gilbert Waynes. He took me under his wing and showed me how he goes about fighting the seemingly futile fight that is environmentalism. Unfortunately, his activism has led to some playful, yet ultimately harmful citywide ridicule. Over the last week, I found out about his labors of love and how the town fails to recognize those efforts. When I came here, I thought the most interesting thing to cover would be the various kinds of waste. But I think Gilbert Wayne's story says a lot more about the world we live in. When change is crucial, the ones who step up to do something about it are dragged down by the ones who are too unwilling to turn their lives around. The people of this town don't deserve Gilbert Waynes, and Gilbert Wayne does not deserve the people of this town.
I don't know, this is kind of weird, dude.
Why is it weird?
I don't do interviews.
I've been interviewing all week, Gil.
Not really, though. That's just cleaning up the city. I'm just showing you around.
I mean, but like, you're just chilling at home now.
It's just different, I don't know.
I don't know, man. I think you're overthinking it. But what are we watching?
Well, I got 3 options for you. The Rock, Con Air, or Gone in 60 Seconds. That's what I'm talking about. Right here.
Hey, Gil.
Yeah, what's up?
I just want you to know that I think you're doing a great thing here.
Well, thanks, man. You know, I guess it's just good to see my efforts are, bringing attention to the city's issues.
Do you think that your work will ever be done here?
I don't know, man, honestly, but, if I can just make it a little bit better, it would make me and my family probably a lot happier,
Oh, hey, Gil, before I forget, can you say your name and occupation into the camera for me, please?
Sure. My name is Gilbert Waynes. I've spent my entire life in Cheddarbluff, and I'm going to clean up these streets whether they like it or not. You think that was good?
It was perfect.
Cool.